Emily,
Yes.
you are a fantastic musician and teacher.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into piano, what it means to you, and like what music you listen to, any other art or hobbies that you're into?
So I started off learning piano around 4 or 5 years old. My parents got me into that, and I've been playing. Well, I started off with an organization called Suzuki. I did it for 2 years, and I completed their collection of books. And I switched to the Royal Conservatory of Music because that is where, like most classical musicians head towards, because that's where you would get your diploma. So that's where I headed towards. Um, I should have finished like all the levels and grades like many years ago. But what happened is my teachers have a lot of connections. Honestly, I went through like 5, 6 different teachers. My family is very strict. Yeah, and they were like, "Nope, this teacher's too nice. Nope, this teacher's like nothing." So, and it was funny because this is all from the same school.
Wow.
So I teach at that school. So imagine
Wow.
me seeing my old teachers and be like, I remember you that one year.
And then we moved on from you very quickly.
Yeah, and it's weird because like my next teacher would be the teacher next door. Yeah, it was it was very uncomfortable for me because I'm like, oh,
It is
God
what it
damn it,
is.
traitor. No, I've been called as a joke. They would call me traitor sometimes, but again, my family has their best interest for me and my siblings who also studied music with me. And so I did a lot of competitions in the city. And that's how I actually made connections with a lot of people. Um, and it helped me also towards bodybuilding. So everything, all of this connects under one roof. um, so yeah, anyways, I competed. I was gonna go to Boston to play on the radio, but that didn't happen because I don't know exactly what happened. I think it was like a money issue at that time. Because if I went, my cousin and my brother would have to go too. So it was just like if I go to a competition, we would all go, and so a bundle of money would be like thrown out. And I'm pretty sure for the viewers here, they would know like for musicians, they would know that piano is expensive. And as you get like, as you're getting to a higher level, it requires more time and more effort and more details and experience coming up from the teacher. So the prices does get a little bit hefty. And then my family, and we have 3 musicians that play piano. My brother plays piano, guitar. He sings too and makes his own music. So yeah, it adds up and gets expensive. So yeah, that didn't end up happening, but I ended up competing a lot in Toronto. I competed in Kiwanis, which is outside of Toronto. I competed in Paris. That was probably like the most fun experience I've ever had. I was only there for 4 days, but I ended up winning. My cousin, my brother also won too. So
Nice.
like you said, like I said before, my family did not expect anything under first, and like they made sure like we played piano 3 hours a day. And if we played 1 hour if for example that 3 hours cut into 2 parts, as a musician you have to practice scales because it helps you with playing fast songs or your fingering and everything. And yeah, that was a great experience. I represented my country. I came back to the academy and they were just like, yo, congratulations, like you made us proud.
It was totally worth being a coach killer.
It was worth, yeah. It was worth because the amount of effort and time committed to that one song I was playing repetitively. Um, and yeah, that brought me to being comfortable playing on stage, and even bodybuilding going on stage for me, like it's not something that's new. Like I've had a spotlight on me since I was young. And even now, like for example, if I go to the airport and there's a piano there, I'm just gonna hop on and play. I couldn't care less if anyone's watching or filming. Like I play because I get the urge, like, and every time I see a piano anywhere in Toronto, I'm like, I'm gonna hop on and play something.
Nice.
But yeah,
Cool.
then I completed my degree. So that's the reason why my degree took so long, is because I spent the majority of my time playing a one song to perfect it and competing. Whereas every time you have an exam for any grade, you have a set of five songs. You have scales and everything. So yeah, that's the reason why it took so long. I ended up finishing a few years ago, and I think, yeah, I ended up finishing before I got to university. And that's when I decided, you know what am I going to do with this degree? Like, I could teach. And so I was the first in my family to took it into action. And I branched out back to my school. I was like, you know what? I've been a student with you guys since I was 4. They actually offered me the job. They were like, you've been with us for a long time and you have all this experience. Like, you make a great asset. Would you like to come work for us? I was like, yeah, why not? Again, the yes mentality. So I took that on. I taught a lot of younger kids. Even my oldest student was like 85. So knowledge has no age, right?
Wow.
It's all about mentality. I just see like an elderly woman but walking with a cane and limping, and she comes in 4:30 every day. She's like, I'm ready. And she's like, her hands are shaking, trembling, but she still makes it. That 30 minutes, honestly, it was the best 30 minutes of teaching, one of the best I've ever experienced in my career. So yeah, again, it's all about giving back to the community.
Nice. I love to hear that. I wish I took piano lessons. I'm self-taught on piano, which means that I can't actually play very well, and I like synthesizers more nowadays because I can
Yeah.
I can do more. But
Look, honestly, I have much respect for people who are self-taught, because for me, that tells me a lot about a person, about their passion. Even if, let's say, yeah, like I said, have lessons are expensive, but let's say you invest in a guitar or you invest in just like a cheap piano, but you sit down and you try to figure out the chords, the notes by yourself. That tells me already, like, your passion, your interest, and your hobbies lies there, and your dedication and your commitment. And even honestly, some people like that I know that are self-taught, they play very well. They say, like, for example, like you, they're like, oh, I'm not good. But at the moment they touch the piano, I'm like, why are you lying though?
well, you know what? I do have
Oh my god.
a mini keyboard.
Would you play something?
I could. What do you want me to play?
Whichever you like to play. Whatever you're comfortable with.
Do I know the Pokemon theme song?
Oh, yes, that.
Do I know the? No, I'm not playing anything.
What? That was so good. Oh my, why?
No, because I'm actually Garbo. I am no, you know what? I love music. I went to music school. I went to music school as well growing up, on and off. I've always been an artsy kid. So some
Yeah.
years it would be drama, some years it would be choir, or like I did do a little bit of piano in school, but
Yeah.
I don't consider it piano just because now looking back at the quality of education that I was getting through public school music teachers,
Yeah.
I know they tried
Oh.
their best, but
Oh man, I remember that. Like, aside from piano, I took. Do you remember strings and bands?
yes, oh my god, yeah.
Oh man, I took strings. So I did 4 years of violin. Honestly, that was really good because the professor really liked me, so she spent extra time at the end, like, like telling me, try to do the vibrato, or, like, yeah. For me, like, I think she had a soft spot for me because I was always messing on the piano. No, for
Oh,
me, like, when I teach somebody and they show me, for example, like, you self-taught yourself piano, like, if I see somebody who hops on the piano and just practice even when the class is over, that tells me, like, they really love what they're doing. It's not because the family, tells them, oh, you got to play piano. It tells me this person actually really enjoys music. Like, even the class is over and you hop on, even that 2-3 minutes, whatever, and you just practice. Maybe the person doesn't have a piano at home, and that 2-3 minutes could mean everything to them because maybe the parents couldn't afford it. And so for me, like that's why I understood where she came from. Like I was eager to learn more. So even for any kid that I teach, if they show me that eager to learn more, I will give you extra time, like without any, extra charge. I will give you my knowledge because you've shown to me and proved to me that you want to learn, not because your family forced you through it. And for that, like, that's how I would give back. If you show me something and you've done something to prove, that you're very interested and you actually want to invest your time into learning this, then by all means, I will give you my knowledge. Whatever knowledge I have, I will give it back. But yeah, again, back to your question, 4 years of violin, took that off. And then I took 3 years of opera. That was like
Really?
Yes. So
Wow.
I was with the school for a long time, the academy.
Nice.
And so when you graduate with your musical diploma, you have to have some theoretical portion of your musical knowledge. You can't just play and teach. You have to learn, for example, Bach, how he built his chorales, how did he, these hymns. Even I had to learn the history of music even before music was music, like in the church, I'm saying. So yeah, history, the musical history I've always had a soft spot for it, because I learned, like, here now, music nowadays, a lot of like, techno stuff with a lot of computering. For me, I love that. I listen to it every day, but I have a soft spot for music from back then, because they never had like a full-on piano. The piano was like this size here, but the music that they produce on this size of piano is just, it sounds like it comes from a piano, like a normal size piano. So yeah, we had to learn that. So I took out a different teachers, and now at that time I had 2 teachers. I had one for piano, one for theory. So that theory teacher, she taught opera and vocals. And I told my mom one day, I walked out of class, I was like, Mom, I want to learn opera. And she's like, what? It's like, yeah.
What kid says that?
No, yeah, right. I was like probably 13, 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was really ambitious, very ambitious.
Totally.
So my mom's like, you want to learn opera? Okay. Well, so she invested 3 years. But then again, that's when like high school kicked in, and because I was juggling so many things on my plate, my academics weren't high. Whereas, in Asian culture, academics are treated as something very, very important. Like your marks, like mom gave me an ultimatum in grade 11 or grade 10. She told me, like, if you don't change your friends, if you don't change like the way you are, and you don't get into university, you're gonna stay home. You're not gonna go to college. You're not gonna do anything. You're gonna stay home. And I didn't get that ultimatum just from my mom. I got it from my uncle too.
Whoa.
Yeah. So yeah, going to university for them was like, it's like a big thing. So all my siblings go to university. And I mean, like for me, I don't judge somebody's knowledge based on where they go to school or if they go to school. I base someone's knowledge and the person itself on their character. So again, like for all the viewers out there, I'm not the kind of person like, if you don't go to university, I'm going to treat you bad. No. That's not me. Like, it's all about character. If I can meet somebody who never went to school and has an abundance of knowledge because they read so many books or they met so many people, that's like the kind of person I would respect. Anyways, back to what I was going to say. Yeah. And then I've always had a knack for painting. It doesn't
really.
I do a lot of I don't do realism. I do a lot of landscapes.
Okay.
Oil based. I think that's the only thing I do. I do oil based landscapes, but I don't do it often. I only paint when I have something inside of me that's eating me away, and I can't put it into words because, again, I don't want to hurt my mom by the words that are frustrating me. So my way of taking things out is either playing on the piano or painting, because I don't have to say anything. It just comes out. And sometimes I'll play the piano and like tears will come out. And my mom's like, "What's going on?" Like, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because sometimes the words you say at that moment, let's say you're angry or you're sad, the words that the moment you open your mouth, you always have to remember, is this the word you're saying to this person, doesn't matter who it is it going to bring more harm than good? Is it worth it? Okay, that 5 minutes of ranting, now what? The other person's like freaking like dealing with anxiety already, and you're just making it worse, right? So for me, like my way of I hold a lot of things within myself, because I'm not somebody who likes, thrashing at other people or bashing other people. Like if somebody hurt me, I'll keep it inside. I'll remember it, but I won't necessarily speak up about it unless, let's say, I've spoken up about it and like it doesn't do anything. Then I'll just keep it inside me, and I'll just, if something frustrates me, I'll put it through either training, music, or art. So that's my stress reliever.
Nice.
Because not everything should be thrown at a person. Those people, they're probably going through a lot of things in their life too, right? Like maybe at that moment you were just frustrated and you're like, oh, I just want to let it out. But what good is gonna let it out? Your words have impact. It can stab someone in the heart. So for me, like that's how I play, like use my skill set to as a stress reliever, an anxiety reliever.